Hey guys, Tip here. So I believe that you guys really seen quite a lot of Hana comp in the arena, and I actually did 90 pulls on her battle, but unfortunately I didn't get her in the end. Well, anyways, if you're still thinking whether is Hana good or not, then I would say she's definitely worth it because she's extremely strong in the arena. So right now we'll review and talk about 5 meta teams in the Hana patch. So let's go. So starting off with the first team, which is Hana, Erina and Lilith. So far, this is the current best melee team because this team actually does very high right click damage with the crit and melee attack play buff. So I actually fought quite a lot of Hana team against the top players in the top 50 before, and all of the Hana just literally right click 1 to 2 of my units in every match. So you can see that this hero is pretty decent and very strong in the arena, especially when you have the sufficient stats for her with the right play buff team. And as I say, if you want to use Hana in the team, you must build her with 1 defensive play buff, 1 crit and 1 melee attack in order to make full use of her special skill. The reason why Hana replaced FP in this team is simply because of the party buff and also damage output. FP is kinda off meta right now because Erina is the better main core, and having 2 defensive party buff in a team isn't really that good anymore since the entire team will do a really low right click damage due to the party buff, and this will make you very weak against the Kamael meta team. So overall, I would highly recommend you guys to build for this team if you are the melee players. So moving on to the second team, which is Hana, Erina and Lynn. So this team is pretty similar to the first team, but the only difference is just between Lynn and Lilith. The reason why picking Lynn here instead of Lilith is simply because this second team will be more effective in countering the Kamael meta team compared to the first team. Having a fire unit in a team is always a good thing because you can always counter Kamael or Mono Earth with a fire unit like Lynn or Scintilla. Some of the people will prefer to run Scintilla because she's a better right click hero in a small melee map, but then she's not really good in a large range map with a lot of obstacles. While Lynn is better in overall map because she can hit while moving and her chain is a lot easier compared to Scintilla. So overall, this is also one of the best melee meta team that you can use, which is specifically good against most of the range meta team. And moving on to the next, we have Lynn, Erina and Lilith. This team used to be the best melee team and it was my favorite team in the last patch. But then, right after they introduced Hana into the game, this team just became slightly weaker in this meta because Hana is very strong against anyone in this team, even against Erina and Lilith, and if you can't pop her special skill in the first match, she can almost 1v2 of your team, if not bring your second unit to a very low HP. But then overall, this is still a pretty good and effective melee team to counter all the Kamael range meta team. Moving on to the fourth team, we have our old meta team, which is FP, Erina and Lilith. This team used to be the best melee team, but then Kamael, Erina and Hana just make FP looks really bad in this meta because they can counter FP pretty easily. Besides, running 2 defensive party buff in a team isn't really that good anymore since the entire team will suffer from the low right click damage resulted in getting chained by the enemies and lose the match. But overall, this is still a pretty solid melee team, but just that it's not the best anymore. And come to the last team, we have Kamael, Erina and Noxia. I would say this is by far the strongest range meta team because having both Kamael and Erina in a team is just way too broken to counter. Kamael can do very high damage with the armor break debuff and being tanky at the same time with 2 defensive party buff, while Erina is just way too strong against anyone and she is able to perform really well in the range team. While Noxia is gonna be really tanky with 2 defensive party buff, and this will ensure that she can get the chain off before you can right click her down. So overall, just go on and build this range team if you are the range player, because this team is highly recommended and is extremely strong in this meta. And that's all for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoy watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!